Alright, I got my 3-2-1 back, so I got a little chance to start a coffee. Coffee today is kind of creamy and milky, but it's all I got. I'm waking up tired. I've been working. And working out. I have to work out today too, weather permitting. Alright, so let's look at this. You're playing, say, a string shape here. This is the 3-4-5 C string shape, and you want to go to the next string shape up. So we have to connect string shapes here. 3-4-5 C. Well, we could go 5-6-7. We could start a 7. There's 2 string shape right there. 3-4-5-6-7 root 2. We could start a 2-3-4 string shape there. 3-4-5. But we're still connecting cages, really connecting cage bass strings. Those are the string shapes. That's one method. But when you recount so let's say this is a Phrygian, just like the example says. Okay, let's see if we can get this out of the mud here. There it is. Example, from the 3rd of Dorian. Okay, I thought it was Phrygian because it said 3 there. It's Dorian. So we're going to look at a Dorian scale. Okay, now that's the short form. The long form would be like. That would actually be a minor. You can use the long or the short form. I like to use the short form Dorian. So, because that's my home S3D pattern. Okay, three string pattern. D, and then goes to A, and then goes to E. Okay, so we've got the D string shape, then it goes to the A string shape, and then it goes to the E string shape. They go in fifths. Okay, so going up in string shapes, we go in fifths, except the fifth of E is C, not B, because it's caged. It has to fit in the caged circle. And vice versa with the fourth. The fourth of C is E, string shape, not F. So let's, from the 3rd of Dorian. So here's our Dorian. Okay, it's going to be, here's our root chord, C. Might be a little out of tune. But after tuning this big guy back here, I about had it with tuning. You know, sit there. This is very close enough because these are geared tuners. My cello doesn't have geared tuning, it has pegged. So from the 3rd Dorian, we're going to rename that Dorian the root. So it's going to be root 2, 3, 4, 5. So from the 3rd to 3 of Dorian, we've got a little formula with Dorian. In order to get to the Dorian, when we look over here, here's our root key is C. B is Dorian. We just add 1 to that root. Okay, we're going to call this root, but this was originally the root of the song, or this wouldn't be Dorian. It has to be with relative to the root key, the Ionian. So the Dorian, and we just add 1 to the root of the Dorian, and we get 2, and that's the pattern that we're going to play. But instead of doing 2, 3, 4, we're going to say 1, 2, 3. So that's the rule, and we're going to add this 1 to every single scale member of the Dorian. Okay, so we're going to add 1 in particular looking at Dorian. So the 3rd of Dorian, root 2, 3. Okay, the local root I've got is little r here. So the Dorian root's going to be little r. The root modal pattern becomes the root major pattern. Could call it major pattern because a key is usually in the major key. but it's really root modal pattern plus 1. So we go root 2, 3, 3 plus 1 is 4. So at that point we play the C4, 5, 6 string shape right there. Okay, that's how that works. So we can do our Dorian. But now when we rename it as root 2, 3, 3 plus 1 is 4, we're going to play the Lydian there. So it's something like this. I messed that Lydian up. So remember, when we're playing a Lydian, we go 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2. It's the same shell pattern as the root pattern. Let's try that again. Okay, so it gives us scale expandability. That was my bad there. First of all, second of all, going to a Lydian. This is just a on paper kind of thing you would do. Normally, maybe we'd take it to the 5th. Would sound a little better. So what are we gonna do? Let's just look at that one more time. So we've got the little groove. There's your root. If you're dropping it essentially. Okay, we're going to take it to the 4th. Root 2, 3, 4. Add 1 to 4. We're going to play the Mixolydian there. Add 1. You see how we added 1. So we only went to the 4th, but we played the 5th pattern, if you will. And that shell pattern stays the same, and it's like embossed into, we played the 5 right there, the Mixolydian. Okay, because the Mixolydian is the 4th of Dorian. 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. So that's what we're going to be doing. Now let's look back at. I apologize for giving you this, brute force, like this is what we must know. Okay, this guy right here. Now this circle of 7-note modal scale offsets is the same thing as this. This is just the piano keyboard representation. I need it. People who think in keyboard, piano board need it. So obviously add 1 to the root key. If we're in the key of C, root C guitar here, but it can be done for any key, right? Root key, add 1 to Dorian, add 2 to Phrygian. Now let's see how that works. So here's Phrygian. We're going around the circle here, but before we're going to check any of these out again, what we want to do is go add 3 to get to the Lydian, which is the 4th of the root. We're going to add 3 from 0. We go 1, 2, 3. Now when we go to the 5th is also over here, but I put the little diagram over here. This is the 5th that comes in underneath. This is the wonderful thing about music is once you learn how to do like 1 octave of it, it doesn't matter where you're at. Same thing with the string shapes. That 5 string shape, it's there, it's here, it's here, it's everywhere. So it's the same little 3 notes, just differ by octaves or with the guitar, by where they're at, to the same pitch.